Welcome to this new lesson in the series of how to prepare for a professional interview. So today we will be practically and detail discuss and prepare and collect the data how you have to prepare your professional resume based on the 6 essential component are required for a expert resume. What are those 6 components? So first of all, I will give you a brief on that. So the first pillar and first essential requirement for a expert resume is that it's your communication and where the interviewer, the recruiter can communicate you. The second pillar for that is your career mission and vision, which is the deliverable to for the organization development and your career development. Third pillar of this 6 essential requirement is educational stats, and the fourth pillar for this educational stats is the professional stats in which organization you have worked so far, and the fifth pillar is KSS stats. KSS stats mean your knowledge, skill and abilities stats you have to mention your resume. And then the sixth one and the last component is capability stats. What are your additional capability to differentiate you from the other candidate for the further selection process? That are your capability stats which you have to take care and mention in your resume carefully. So now welcome to 4 Slide HR, and I am your host and host. And so today we are discussing and practically doing how you can be prepare your expert resume. For that, what you have to do first, you have to collect the data and information for you. How you can collect that information, I will be explain that you here today. So what you have to do here, what you need to do here, so that is the thing we will be mention, we will be declare here today. So let's go for that. How you can do that, what format you can use for your data collection. So we will be discuss here practically. So let's move to the screen. How so if you look at here, this is the format I have prepared for the collection of the information about your expertise, your skills, so that you can mention that in your resume. This is the second essential tool you have to use for preparing a expert resume. So the first of all, the first thing, as we previously mentioned, there is the communication. So whatever thing you have to mention in the communication, I will be declare that to you. So what should be there? There should be the profile name which we have mentioned earlier, then your name, your address, then your mobile number, and here you can mention the social contact is if you want to declare. But as in this era, digital era, that is essential and that is required, so you have to mention at least one or two. One is your LinkedIn, then your Twitter if you are handling that, and Facebook. You have to mention that in this portion. The second is in this first, the second pillar was here the headliner, the one headliner and strong headliner you have to mention in your resume. How? Look at that. This is the potential thing which you are presenting to the interviewer and for the job provider that you have to mention here. One is the like that you have to mention your expertise and your certification, your highest level of education, then your the where you have to done that, your experience in years, and then where you can be expertise in whatever of areas you can do that, then you have to mention that in bracket, and then the industry like manufacturing, then other thing. Now the third component is the career objective in in this. So what you have to mention that, as the previous video I have mentioned, there should be two subcomponent there. One is your, you have to mention that one is your mission, second one is your vision. In the mission, what you can do for the organization, and second one is what you can do for your self improvement, self development, that you have to take care. So there, here you have to mention two small paragraphs. One is your deliver for the organization, what best you can do for them, and second one, what is your capability, what and how keen you are for the organization, as well as your self development is there, and for your colleagues development. So these are the two portion you have to take care in this portion, or in this essential requirement of preparing an expert resume. Let's go to the next one. The next one is your educational stats, and what are the education you have to mention in this, in your resume, and whatever the data you have to collect for your resume. Let's have a look. So here you have to mention the, first of all, collect the information, then whatever the highest and most technical knowledge you have to mention in the top, then your other education, then you go for the basic education, not go to the very basic, the basic education that you have done for the professional thing or your technical knowledge. Then the institution where you have to done, and you can mention the year there, and the duration is also. Do not mention the marks here. This is a collection of the data at present. So if you want to mention the data for the future references, so you can mention one column here, and you can prepare the data of your, what I can say, that is your marks. Let's go to the next pillar. The next pillar is all about your professional stats. So what are those professional stats? How you have to write that? Here you have to collect the data about your organization. What are those organizations, where you work, what you work there. So first of all, you can use the company logo here. Also, it does not mean any copyright thing. So then detail about the organization where it is working. It is a MNC or a Pan India and your country level organization, local organization. Then you have to mention here, since you are working here, what are the position, whom you are reporting, and how many you have reported. Then here you have to mention the role you are taking care, and then your key achievements during this working period as of now. So here you have to segment that according to the strategy, what you can be prepared, then the area you are taking care, and what you have done, that you have to collect all that information in this area. Divide it accordingly. Let's go to the next pillar. So the next pillar means the sub pillar. If you have worked 2 and 3, 4 organization, you can mention that accordingly in this video and collect the information. Do not forget what you have done. Every detail and every specific information you have to collect that here, so that you can be prepared, finalize your knowledge, skill and abilities which you have to present to the interviewer in your expertise resume. So now here you can mention how many organizations you have worked. If that is 1, that is 2, that is 3, accordingly you have to mention that. And then all the things and achievement you have to mention that one by one and basic to basic, so that when you prepare your knowledge, skill, abilities, that time all the information can go there. So this is first we are collecting the data for your resume. How? So you are learning this in this video. Stay tuned till the end of this video. You will be get more information in this video, how you can prepare the expert resume and collect the data whatever required for preparing a expert resume. Now let's go to the next pillar and the next portion, which is most important portion for the reason of your selection and call of the interview. So that is your knowledge, skill and ability stats. So whatever the portfolio profile and the responsibilities you are taking care, all the organization in the segmentation, you have to mention all that here. As in the previous video I have mentioned, you have to segment all these component here based on the three component. First component is your expertise in areas where you are expert. Second one is your moderate knowledge, you have done that, you can do that, but little support required. Then third one is your learner means you have done that one or two time, but still you required some knowledge, you have to learn to do that particular area, task and job independently and with expertise. So everything you have to mention here based on the previous section you have mentioned based on the organization. So everything you have to done here. Divide it as possible as well, because you are here collecting the data first. When we go for preparing of the practical interview, then we will be analyze all that data. What are the essential things you have to incorporate in your resume? So this is the collect data based on the previous data you have collected related to the organization. Whatever you have worked, accordingly mention that data here in this segmentation. Now come to the next section of 6 essential of your expertise resume preparation for the interviews. Then this is your capabilities stats, means the first sub pillar is your workshop certificate you have taken. Also divide that in the segmentation which is related to the operational strategy and learning and development. Whatever the certification you have done, so you can be mentioned that. Whatever you are learning from that, you can be mentioned over there, because here you are collecting the information and data. I have mentioned it the crux only for understanding you how you have to prepare that. Now go to the second portion, then your personal states and personality traits, so which you have to mention here, which will be differentiate you from the other candidates who are coming or who are presented for the interview. So first of all, mention all that things like leadership and people management, relationship building and communication skill. Whatever you have, how perfect you are in that, which are the expertise you have to mention here. Take care here, you can mention all that things, but when you prepare your expertise resume, you have to mention where you are expert. Now let's go to the second and that last sub pillar of this pillar, that is your personal details, means where I have mentioned in the previous video that something you have to take care. Like here you can mention your hobbies, social work and gardening. Do not mention watching TV, reading something, that is also hobby. But the interviewer may answer, question you what latest book you have read and what is the knowledge or impression that has been given in your life. So take care of that. This is the format of collecting of your information, and you can mention all that here for your further references and knowledge. Then your date of birth should be there, then your domicile, mean you are bona fide from here, then your present location, your marital status, and then preferred location and your notice period, and then your salary, current CTC you can mention, otherwise you can skip it that. Then go to the last one, that is the declaration and acknowledge. So here you have to declare that all these information you have mentioned in your resume, that is true, certified, and particular mention about true and best of your knowledge, and you are expert in that. Then you have to mention the date and place and your name and signature in your resume. So friends, this is all about the collecting of data for exporting, then preparing your expert resume. I hope you may find this information very practical, very informative. So I here request you, do not forget to comment on this video how good it will be for you and what are the improvements we have to do also for future videos. And also do not forget to subscribe us so that every new video can be come to you and you can watch that when it comes first, because this is a very essential and critical area I am explaining you here and giving you the most of the crux which are required for a professional interview and for the job related thing. So subscribe. Also do not forget to share, like and comments. So see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.